let's get into the business of things. This is a hot topic, man. NBA fans care about this. It was told to them that this huge gazillion dollar NBA rights deal, maybe 77 billion over the life of the deal, would mean that inside the NBA, that beloved property, Charles Barkley, Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, gone, done. Charles Barkley saying, I'm going to retire if it's not with Turner. And all of a sudden, this news comes out that TNT, Warner Brothers, matched the deal. They had matching rights, supposedly, theoretically. And now it has come out that the NBA went, nah, we don't think you do. We want to move on. We want to be with Amazon. We want to be elsewhere. And it looks like it is going to be an ugly, potentially protracted fight legally. The statement from TNT Sports reads as follows. We have matched the Amazon offer as we have a contractual right to do and do not believe the NBA can reject it. In doing so, they are rejecting the many fans who continue to show their unwavering support for our best-in-class coverage, delivered through the full combined reach of WBD's video-first distribution platforms, including TNT, oh my God, blah, 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 working advertisement in there. We think they have grossly misinterpreted our contractual rights with respect to the 2025-2026 season and beyond, and we will take appropriate action. We look forward, however, to another great season of the NBA on TNT and Max, including our iconic Inside the NBA. Yeah, that little part where there's still one more season to go on the contract till it expires. Nate, I know you got a lot of thoughts. Let's just start riffing. First blush, what's your take on this whole situation?
When I look at the Warner Brothers Discovery situation, it's obvious Zaslav kind of overplayed his hand. I don't think he believed the NBA was going to be able to get enough bidders to where they were going to be put in this position. If you actually, the way that Warner Brothers Discovery is positioned right now, they need the NBA to keep their rights fees up for their, for TNT through these cable bundles. If they don't have the NBA, I don't know how they're finding something else. Maybe it's the NFL. If something else comes available, I don't know exactly. Boxing, UFC, I don't know what they're going to do, but this is putting them in kind of a predicament. And he went into it publicly saying, hey, we don't actually need the NBA. And I think as soon as you say something like that publicly with something that sensitive, it was almost like he was calling the NBA's bluff. And the NBA, you're playing chicken and he got ran over there, right? So that's number one. And then the second thing is, in terms of the matching, I know everyone's speculating and it's he said, she said, but unless we actually see this matching clause, you have no idea what it means and what rights Warner Brothers Discovery has. This was negotiated, in 2014? I know from a position of, from when we do endorsement deals and things of this nature, I've never seen a television media rights deal. But when we do these types of deals, we try to, from the perspective of someone that's actually giving the rights to a brand and things of that nature, we try to make it as narrow. We try to make matching clauses as narrow as possible. So I'm assuming that the NBA in that position, they're throwing their partner a bone, giving them an opportunity to be able to match. But it probably has, I would assume, it probably has a narrow scope of what they can match and how that actually works. And when you think about matching as well, like comparing TNT and Warner Brothers Discovery and what they're trying to do with sports, which is obviously they've got Max and they're trying to pull off launching and taking off in streaming while also not just completely destroying their cable bundle revenues. So you've got them needing to be able to broadcast on TNT. And, they could also put it on Max, which they have been doing the last year, I believe, with TNT offerings on their sports tier on Max. So you've got that. But Amazon, which is what they matched, is a pure streaming play. I don't see Warner Brothers Discovery wanting the NBA to just be on the Amazon, just be on Max streaming. So those are the things I initially think about. It's like how narrow was or is the matching clause, and what is technically a match? Because we haven't heard this from Warner, but it's pretty obvious that they want it on linear television as well as streaming, which is that's not what the Amazon deal is at all. So be interesting to see what the clause says and how the NBA responds to it.
Yeah, and the NBA has put out a statement of its own saying Warner Brothers Discovery's most recent proposal did not match the terms of Amazon Prime Video's offer, and therefore we have entered into a long-term arrangement, I should say, with Amazon. Throughout these negotiations, our primary objective has been to maximize the reach and accessibility of our games for our fans. Our new arrangement with Amazon supports this goal by complementing the broadcast, cable, and streaming packages that are already part of our new Disney and NBC Universal arrangements. All three partners have also committed substantial resources to promote the league and enhance the fan experience. Now, to what you are saying, Nate, I had somebody that I know is very savvy in these matters and works for one of these broadcasters who said that word reach is what we'll lose in court for Warner Brothers Discovery. In addition to what you're pointing out about match potentially being vague as well. Now, I don't know what we'll actually lose in court, but it's an interesting idea that, hey, you might be able to pay technically, but you can't do technically what they can do. And in a way, this is about the money. It could also be about the ego because Zaslav, the CEO of Warner Brothers, offended Adam Silver, according to many sources. So there might be an aspect of wanting to punish him. These are personalities. But it's also about the future. And it's also about making more money in the future. And riding with Amazon seems like a bridge to a whole new world, global. You can go global with Amazon in a way that you cannot with the cable bundle. I'm sure Warner Brothers would say, hey, we've got our streaming. Look at Max. We've got this. We've got that. But I don't think people really believe that. And so in a way, that's what it's about. And fans can be upset about it. I certainly share their upset. I want Inside the NBA on my television. I'm way more enthusiastic for that than the idea that the NBA and NBC theme song is going to come back. I love that theme song. It's a great theme song. I don't think it's going to have the same magic that it did in the 1990s just because you put a jingle in the beginning of these games. It's not worth Charles Barkley and the unique chemistry shared between him and Ernie and Kenny and Shaq and the whole setup. But part of the reason that that setup was so charismatic is it was a little podunk. You know, it was a little bit, yeah, we can just try things. We don't have to be buttoned up. We're kind of a cable channel. We're this old school fly by night, Ted Turner just trying stuff cable channel. It's late at night. And eventually it became this beloved institution. Not even eventually. I think from the beginning, people loved that show. But that's part of what cuts against the ability to retain this property as the money gets bigger and really live sports rights, they almost become a loss leader for these companies that are like tech companies do, trying to spend so much so they can control the entire market. When you're not the top tier and you don't have the most money, you can lose out. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, for an Amazon, they're trying to build out sports as everything is around Prime for Amazon. So, you know, the idea of being able to, I feel like I'm in my age cohort. I'm like one of the last people to get Prime. I just recently got it this year, just started using Prime, but they want to clean up everybody. They want to make sure that if you're not buying it for 2-day shipping, well, we got sports and you get 2-day shipping and you get the discounts at Whole Foods and whatever else. So they're trying to check every box when it comes to customer acquisition for them. That's it makes complete sense. And there's for Warner, they have their reasons for trying to keep the NBA. I mean, with their financial situation and the cable bundle losing subscribers, every quarter. Of course, they want to hold on for dear life, but they don't. I don't think they don't have the resources or the incentives to spend like Amazon does.
Yep. And for Adam, it's about the money. I was once told this story, and it might be apocryphal. Don't hold me to it. Okay. Don't hold me to this and say that I said this absolutely happened. But even if it didn't, it has a metaphorical truth to it. Well, when Adam took over, as you recall, the NBA went from its main junk food sponsor as McDonald's to Taco Bell. Now, why did they do that? Because Taco Bell offered more money than McDonald's. David Stern comes to Adam Silver and goes, what are you doing? There's a value in being with McDonald's. McDonald's is this ultimate Americana brand. Taco Bell isn't that. But that's how Adam sees things. It's not about that. It's not about the brand. It's not about people's feelings and associations. It's about the money. And that's what he sees as his primary objective. And yeah, inside the NBA is a brand association. Fans love it. It maintains a connection to them in American basketball culture. But just if it's not measuring up business wise, if it's not adding up in the ledger, that's just what it is. And that's how he sees it.